Hi, welcome to weekday coronavirus-driven mind stuff. My name is George Ortega, and it is Sunday, May 31st, and it is 7:29 p.m. Eastern Daytime, and I hope you've been having a good day. I've been having an excellent day. I only got 5 hours sleep last night because I've been really getting into my music, playing bass guitar. And I discovered this music called raga, R-A-G-A, that's Indian sitar music, basically, and they have some percussion with it, usually. And then there was a genre that developed from that in the mid to late 60s that's been termed raga rock. And so, I'm on Spotify, and I was accessing a lot of that music, and it's pretty inspirational. So I was doing a lot of that, and straightened up a bit. Yesterday, I attended a Zoom meeting of Harlem Conversations. It's a meetup group that originally met in Harlem. Now they meet on Zoom. So they get people, throughout the country, probably throughout the world, I don't know. We were talking about the idea that, sometimes there needs to be a proper understanding of, shall we say, judgment and defensive action and forgiveness. For example, what's going on. We were talking about the killings by the police and the demonstrations afterwards. And the idea that was put forth is that basically the ideas of self-defensive action and forgiveness are not mutually exclusive. In other words, we as a people need to hold the people who are responsible for these killings responsible. We need to take actions to do that. In a certain sense, it's a form of punishment, or I suppose we're asking God to punish them, and God may be using us as God's instruments. But because for example, if somebody aggresses toward one, then self-defense really amounts to, well, either the threat of punishment or punishment for the purpose of self-defense. It's kind of taken an offensive position as, because of a defensive need, that's protected by law. But the idea is and we all do this. We all do this in small ways and in large ways. We do this individually and we do this collectively. That's how this country was founded. Unfortunately, we don't have to resort to wars to make things better, to redress wrongs. So the idea, though, was that forgiveness. Basically, the people who are, the police who are just abusing people like that, killing people, the officials who are defending them, up to Trump, who pretty much encourages that kind of behavior, they need to be held accountable. But they also need to, at the same time, be forgiven because they don't know any better. If they knew better, they wouldn't be acting so vilely, so criminally, so evilly. And so the two, forgiveness and defensive action, whatever form it needs to take, ideally the wisest forms are legal and actually governmental in terms of legislation, to set the framework. then naturally the police officers need to be better trained. Their superiors need to be better trained or better constrained, to act with much, much more restraint. But at the same time, this punishment of holding them accountable, we have to enact while, again, forgiving them because they didn't know better. And then, you can do the same. The idea is that when one punishes someone, like when a parent punishes a child, it's for the child's good, an act of love. And so, yes, we punish the police administrators, because this isn't just the people at the bottom problem. This is the people at the top, the police chiefs and the governmental officials who are superior to them, all the way up to the president. So basically, we're punishing them. We need to continue punishing them, because it's our right of self-defense, and it's our right to defend virtue and morality, because like what those police are doing is just completely unacceptable to anyone. And so the idea is that like we punish them for their sake as well as ours. And it's of course a proportional punishment, in other words, like to humble them, to humiliate them if necessary, to make them see the error of their ways in condoning and sometimes even encouraging this kind of violence. And that's the gift to them. Punishment always comes, or usually, ideally, it comes with growth. You're punished for something, you grow, you become a better person. So anyway, we were talking about that. And my hope is that this anger, righteous anger over these 3 killings recently, will expand to include many other injustices, inequality, financial inequality, a society that through direct and indirect racism, continues to hold back people of color, minorities, other minorities. And and then the idea was that we talked about the media's role in this. The media isn't as liberal as they would have you believe, and isn't nearly as liberal as conservatives would have you believe. Basically, the liberal media, the New York Times, the Washington Post, NPR, CNN, they present the problems to these of this violence, but they don't focus on solutions. They're always, beating us over the head with these, these abusive instances. And that, so that serves one purpose, to get us angry enough to act. But that, if they're going to leave it there, they're creating more of a problem than they're solving. Because like in addition to stoking people's anger about these injustices, a very righteous anger, that the media needs to present solutions and needs to push for solutions. The media is a watchdog for government, just like the Supreme Court is supposed to be. This balance of power is not just within government, but within society. And the media is supposed to be working on behalf of the people, especially when that's how they represent themselves. So we explored this idea that again, they should be really presenting more answers, exploring more answers, promoting more answers, demanding more answers. And I'm not talking about across the board, generalized, well, we need to just like retrain police and all. We have to get specific. What kind of training are they receiving now that apparently isn't working? What kinds of constraints or punishments to police that unduly use force need to be either created or better enforced? I would hope we have, in all states, guidelines that on paper really prevent, just basically condemn these kinds of actions, but apparently they're not being enforced. And there's a kind of an analogy. Back in New York City in the 60s, 70s, 80s, there was a lot of crime. And one way that was reduced a lot is that the police started enforcing low-level crimes like turnstile jumping, things that are minor. And that, it seemed, worked to a great extent. That wasn't the only part of this. There were other aspects, but that was a positive action. And so, like with this situation, perhaps the police forces need to begin to prosecute or legislate against minor police offenses. Apparently the reprimands that they get now aren't severe enough, because if they were, these incidents would be far, far less common. And perhaps there's not enough prohibitions to the police acting in this way. And, this isn't about blame either. It's not about blaming the police officers who were not trained properly or who have some kind of hatred in them or some kind of other violence that comes out on their job. It's not to blame them. If you want to hold someone accountable, you have to hold their superiors accountable. Again, all the way up to Trump, because they set the standards. Trump talks violence with almost every tweet that he publishes, and this is the result. The police officers that become too violent, and then the counter demonstrations to self-defend against that violence. Okay, so I don't know. I wanted to catch a news show. I'll do that later. I'll check out a Spotify podcast. So anyway, I've been playing a lot of bass guitar, and I can't record because I'm thinking of eventually jamming to some songs that I wrote and performed, over 20 years ago, about 20 years ago. Because I can't do that with the songs that I jam to, the rock, raga rock, and other, 60s, late 60s bands, 67, 68, 69. They were amazing, amazing years for music, maybe 66 also. So yeah, I haven't been out today, and I don't intend to go out. I was just like, because I only got 5 hours sleep, so I meditated a lot today. I spent almost all day meditating, and that gets me into kind of like a very peaceful, centered state of mind. But again, I recognize that I only got 5 hours sleep, so I thought that it'd be Now, I may go out later, who knows? Let's see. So about 12 minutes left, 13 minutes, 12 minutes. Yeah, tomorrow night I'm hosting a Zoom room on happiness during this time of coronavirus distancing. And then Tuesday I'll have the international party. Wednesday is Rabbi Bronstein's Parsha talk that I attend. Thursday is another party. Friday is the second God and COVID-19 Zoom meeting event. The first one went really well. There must have been about 6 or 7 or 8 of us, different times. Some people dropped in and out. And we talked about the attributes of God. And I'm thinking of creating a new one titled something like, "What would a new religion look like?" You know, and I want these discussions just for theists, for people who believe in God. I don't want to debate whether God exists or not. I mean, we do that. We kind of like do that somewhat. No, not really. We basically describe the attributes of God. Because if we say God exists, then we have to have a definition of God that we're talking about. So. But anyway, that first talk went well, you know, and so like I'm looking forward to next Friday. What else? Yeah, now I'm getting ready. This guy who comes into my room, he's an artist. He's not really an artist. He's like a computer engineer. You know, he basically builds robots. You know, amazing guy in a way, but he's also an amazing artist. So like, you know, basically, for example, last night we opened up the, I can show you this, I think. All right, I'm going to show you what he was doing while he was on the call. And I can show you a few of the others also. Let me see if I exit the screen, full screen. Got to do this. Okay, you cannot minimize while recording. Okay, so let's see. All right, so I want to, basically I want to share my screen is what I want to do. All right, but where is it? I think this is it. All right, if I share this, this is the one he did last night. I saved it several times. Wait a minute. No, that's not it. Uh, 529, 531. No, that's not here. This one. Okay, so yeah, this is, I don't know if this is the last one or the first. All right, I'll just open it up and see how this goes. I don't see it. I mean, I don't know if you see it, but I do not see it. And if I don't see it, then it seems something is not working as it should. Let me try one more. I've got a few. Now let me try this one more time. Hold on. Come on. Maybe I have to open it up in Zoom. There we go. All right. So like he, you know, if you see this, and I hope you're seeing this, like, you know, haven't really shared. So this is something he just did on, you know, on a Mac computer, you know, while we're talking. And unfortunately, I was tired last night. I only held the room open for 2 hours, but the guy's good. Let me show you some other stuff though. New share. Let's see. New share. Let's see where. All right, if I. All right, I don't. I'm going to stop sharing and I'll reshare again because I'm trying to find the right. I better find the file first and then do the share. It's under Zoom. And no, it's not under Zoom. Maybe it's under pictures. Zoom backgrounds. Yeah, because I saved it as a Zoom background. So all right, here's another one that he did. This one's amazing. Well, all right, I got it. Now let's see if I can share it. Hold on. This is going slow, but I'm getting there. You know, there's not much you're doing anyhow, right? Hold on. Share screen. And where is it? Photos. Photos. I don't think this is it, but I will try it. Share this. No, that's not it. No, that's the same one came up. Well, this is not working as I intended. I'm going to try one more time. No, I will zoom backgrounds. Why am I not seeing zoom backgrounds? Pictures, zoom backgrounds. So that's where I should look for the photo. And share screen again. So where are the zoom backgrounds? Basic, whiteboard, photos, screen. See, I don't see it. I'm looking in a folder. All right, let me go to this. How about try pictures, zoom backgrounds. All right, and we're, okay, let me try it again. This should work. All right, I think you see this. You know, seems, so anyway, this is like, the guy's amazing. He's just doing this, you know, on his phone. You know, I told him, like, the guy's about 40, I told him he should get some millennial who knows art, you know, to represent him, to be his salesperson. And, you know, he should really get his work out there more because it is so good. Let me try a new share. Let's see if this works. See all photos, where is it? Yeah, this is like, you know, I guess I didn't have much to say. What can I tell you? I'm stopping sharing. No, you got the idea. The guy is good. And so anyway, we were, you know, so basically his being so good has inspired me. And like, you know, I was initially, when I left high school, an art major. Then after a while, I considered the world had way too many problems for me to feel comfortable just devoting my life to art, which I considered a luxury. So now at 62, I feel I've done enough for the world, and I, you know, can give myself this gift of creating more. And again, I'm just saying my story here. You know, other people are certainly fated to, you know, graduate college as art majors and become artists. You know, and that I wouldn't condemn that at all. You know, art is good in some ways. Just for me, it wasn't the right thing. Okay, well, I'm glad, you know, it's almost 8 o'clock, and I'm not doing a room tonight. Sunday's my day off, and, you know, Wednesday again, class with the rabbi. So that's kind of nice. And I don't really feel like going out, actually. I may later, who knows? Got a load of dishes there that kind of want to be washed, but I don't want to do them tonight. I'll do them tomorrow, hopefully. And what I want to do, I guess, is get back to playing some bass guitar. I think I got to eat something. All I had today was like an avocado and I think a tomato sandwich. But I don't think I've eaten anything substantial. I'll have some cashews and maybe a salad with chickpeas for protein. And I always like to put sunflower seed kernels in the salad, you know. And then I went shopping. I got some croutons, which I don't usually get, and some olives. So I'll put those in the salad too, you know, with balsamic vinegar dressing. That'll be a good I should probably, I'll probably take care of dinner. And I should do those dishes. I mean, it's no big deal. Maybe what I'll do is like listen to music while doing them. That, yes, could like, I made a folder of Spotify playlist with these raga rock songs that I selected that I found pleasant to jam to on bass. And so I'll listen to them, the better, because most of it, if not, almost all of them, I haven't heard before. A few I'm familiar with, a few Beatles songs, a few others, but most of them are new to me. So the more I hear them, the better I can play to them. And this might be my genre, I also like the music of America. I like Don McLean, but he's like really hard to jam to because it's like more folk music. I've been getting into like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath. I've been into Pink Floyd for a long time, but also like, Traffic, Cream, Santana. I haven't been playing too much Santana. There's a lot, again, music from the 66, 67, 66, probably 67 through 69. There's some good hits, in 70, 71, 72, whatever. And actually the Pink Floyd's, like Dark Side of the Moon came out in 75. So that tells you everything. There really was a lot of good music between 70 and 75. But, and it's not that the music now is not good. It's just like, it was much easier to identify the good music back then. Now it's all out there, and maybe the younger kids can do that. All right, anyway, I'm running out of time. This is George Ortega for Weekday Coronavirus-Driven Mind Stuff. I hope you had a good day. You can catch this show every Monday through Friday on White Plains Community Media Station, channel 76 if you get Optimum, and 45 if you get Verizon. And you can also catch the episodes on their website, White Plains Community Media, or when I get to it, and I got to get to it probably hopefully this week, on YouTube also. All right, so anyway, I got 35 seconds left. What else? Not just the raga music, raga rock, but also like Ravi Shankar. He's like an Indian guy. He plays the sitar. He introduced this music to the West in actually the late 50s. And just some of the traditional Indian melodies are really amazing also. All right, so thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.